Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Mel, and today we're going to be reading some 5-star reviews of books I don't like. I am not one of those people that if you don't like my favorite book, I don't care. I mean, I'm still going to enjoy it. So reading 1-star reviews of books that I love isn't really going to hit me that hard in the feels. So I figured, why not just do it the other way around and read some 5-star reviews of books that I don't like. Now, full disclaimer here. Anyone is allowed to love, read, enjoy anything that they want. I'm not gatekeeping. I just thought it would be a little bit fun and funny. This is not a personal attack. If you enjoyed this book, I'm so happy for you. I'm glad that you did because I read it wishing that I had. All of these books are books that I thought I was going to enjoy and just didn't for one reason or another. So if you did, awesome. So glad. Not judging you. Please enjoy your books. So with that disclaimer being said, let's just jump on in. I think the first one that I'm going to read, I've got my computer here, and I think the first one that we're going to talk about is Hairpin Bridge by Taylor Adams. I liked No Exit okay, but I found the main character a little bit stupid. And Hairpin Bridge was so much worse. There was tacky plot device after tacky plot device. Things didn't make sense. The main character was the stupidest main character I think I have ever heard of. I was bored. It was not the book at all for me. So let's go read some 5-star reviews and see why other people enjoyed it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to... Okay, so this person said that the revenge gave them all the feels from the previous novel and then some. What? No. It centers itself around a strong female protagonist. Strong, not so much. Accumulating into an action-packed novel that had me wondering what to believe. I agree with that. I agree that it had me wondering what to believe because it made no sense. I was literally on the very edge of my seat. No, I was fully in my seat, wanting to throw the book across the room. Suffice to say, Mr. Adams sure knows how to write incredibly flawed, agreed, realistic, and insanely brave female leads. I don't think we have similar reading taste, my friend. I don't think we have similar reading taste. Okay, so let's pick one more to read. Alright, so this person says, holy shooty balls, this was one riveting, action-packed, and absolutely unputdownable page-turner. After reading No Exit and absolutely loving it, knew I had to read Hairpin Bridge, and it's just as amazing. Delivers a rapid, fast-paced, suspenseful, gripping, and well-written, perfectly executed read. It was a vivid portrayal that I thought I was actually watching a thriller movie unfold. Maybe if we're talking like Fast and Furious movie, but come on now. A few scenes definitely creeped me out. How detailed and graphic they were. I don't remember anything being graphic. Absolutely loved how the story was told, the blog post, and how many brilliant details sparked throughout and all made sense in the end. I don't think anything made sense in the end. I don't like how it drew together, but I did like the blog post, so I can see that. This is pretty much the perfect thriller. Whew. Okay. So now let's move on to The City of Dusk, which is one that I read this year and wanted to love so much, like with every fiber of my being, but it was trying to do way too much, not really succeeding in anything it was trying to do. There were things coming out of left field, right field, there was no focus, and then it just read too YA for me, and so I had to give it a 1 star because it was just too unfocused for me. But let's see what everybody else thought about it. Okay, so this person says that this book has it all. Complex world building. Yeah, to the point of not making sense. Fully fleshed characters. Political intrigue. I wanted more politics. That was part of the problem. An intriguing magic system. I will say that the magic system was intriguing, but when all the characters are jumping from like one place to the other and they don't even know what they're doing, you know that you have a problem. While it follows classic fantasy tropes, it does. There's a trope for every main character. It was still an utterly compelling read. I could not read it fast enough. Same. I wanted it done, especially with the frequent mini cliffhangers. It is a long, detailed book, but I never once felt bored while reading it. I think I fell asleep at one point. Takes cultural inspiration from our world, and there's some great queer representation. There wasn't hardly any queer representation. I wanted more of that. That's something that I went into it expecting, and it was just like sprinkle, which you don't get a whole lot of in fantasy. It was decent representation, I think, when it was done, but there just wasn't enough of it. This book was so gripping from the beginning. It was gripping at the beginning. Okay, so let's see what the next person has to say. I'm just like randomly scrolling through these, so there's no like particular order. Okay, now this book has a lot going on with a massive cast to match. It does. It has so much going on that all of its duckies are running around chaotically. I personally am biased toward Risha. I agree with that due to the South Asian rep, but it's clear that Taysha is the true star. Yeah, you can definitely tell that the author had a significant preference toward one of the main characters. Her chapters stand out and her inner turmoil is beautiful. But the other characters do not play second fiddle. Yes, they do. And there is no small parts to play in this book. Yes, there is. Overall, this was a beautiful start to a dark fantasy chock full of morally gray characters. They were only morally gray because they were making terrible decisions. And a unique magic system. Unfortunately, I don't think we have the same taste, my friend. Okay, so next let's do The Lying Game by Ruth Ware. This is one that I just recently gave 1 star to. I found it very boring. I found it extremely predictable. And there was one particular thing that was there only to have one line at the end of the book. It was there for one line. Why? Why bother? Why was it such a huge, massive focus to this story when it had one line purpose? So this person says this is a story of female friendship, lies, and deceit. It had my heart pumping until the very end. I don't think my heart ever got pumping, except for when I thought it was going to be over. I felt the tone was very gothic because of the description and actions at the end. I can see the gothic description in the, like, setting, but not really the way that things were playing out in actions at the end. This book is more character than plot driven, engaging, riveting, and chilling. It is. It is. The characters are just boring. Overall, I loved this book. Not the book for me. All right, let's read the next one. Okay, so this person says, every once in a while I find a book that completely grabs me from the first page. I think I read the first page and was like, uh-oh. I can't put it down and I raced to finish it. This was the mother of all of those books. Outstanding and not one dull moment. I don't think it had one exciting moment. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Okay, let's read one more because that one was short. I'm a huge fan of Ruth Ware, so I was prepared to enjoy this book, and of course I did. I'm a sucker for books that take place at a school, so the backstory of Slatin was fantastic as well. I do see where if you like a boarding school setting, that this one might work a little bit better for you. It's Ruth Ware's trademark to keep you guessing at everything, a very satisfying read. That was my main problem, is I didn't feel like I had to guess at anything. I felt like everything was pretty laid out, which is something that Ruth Ware does well. She's not going to shock you by things being illogical, but there is a level of mystery that we've got to keep in a mystery. Okay, let's do maybe a couple more. I'm gonna do Gardens of the Moon. I just kind of feel like I have to. This one was one of those that I didn't absolutely hate, but I just found it so pretentious and unnecessarily complicated, to the point where you could feel like things were going on and then read the next chapter and be like, what was that? And I didn't love it. So let's see why other people liked it, because I feel like this is going to be less of a roasting and more of a me being like, oh, okay. I need to find a review that's not 7 pages though. That would be great. Wow, people that read Malazan type and write the reviews like the book is written. I like this book a lot. The author said he was inspired by Glenn Cook's Black Company, and it shows. This is not an easy read. You ain't kidding. It does not help as soon as the subplot really gets exciting. Fortunately, this happens a lot. The author switches to another, much slower moving subplot, and the ending was slightly anticlimactic. Thank you. I don't know who this 5-star review is, but at least you have some perspective. Having said this, the book was impossible to put down. I think I put it down a lot. And people say this is the weakest book in the series. I hope that's true. A lot of events, action sequences, people backstabbing was very memorable. I don't remember anything. For fantasy readers who are not afraid to tackle complicated plots, read this book now. Okay, so here's the thing. There can be complicated plots, but if they don't have a purpose, then what's the purpose? I appreciate you acknowledging some things in there. Next up. Okay, so this one apparently is a reread. Over the years, a lot of my favorites have failed to stand the test of time and has disappointed me on reread. Happy to say that despite nearly 14-year gap, Gardens of the Moon was as 5-star this time around as it was the first time. It's an incredibly entertaining book. It almost everything a fantasy reader could wish for. It does. It has everything. Fantastic world building, just world building, complex plot, and a huge cast of characters, each with their own motivations and goals, an incredibly cool magic system, fantastic action scenes. To top it all off, Erickson has a fast-paced, engaging writing style. Whoa, what? Fast-paced and engaging writing style. I love this book and have been totally sucked into Erickson's Malazan world. I'm glad this is a lengthy series as I cannot wait to see how various ongoing story arcs develop. See, the long series thing's not working for me. Let's do one more and then call it quits. Do we want to do Platform 7 or Hidden Pictures? I feel like Hidden Pictures is more fun because it's a more recent read and there are a lot of polarizing reviews I know on this one. So let's do it. For this one, I just found that it was too slow and not creepy enough for me. When we're talking about kids drawing creepy pictures, I expect creepy pictures and like a lot of creepiness, but it really wasn't. And then the ending just kind of went completely in a 15,000 meter different direction than the way that I thought it was going to, so I didn't love that. This person says, I absolutely devoured this book with its chilling, sinister feel throughout. See, that was my problem. I was never chilled. I was very cozy while reading this book. Very cozy. A story told throughout images of a small child will catch your attention quickly. I did like the pictures. The pictures were good. I was drawn into it and cannot get out of my mind that emotional, unforgettable ending. It's not emotional. It was just dumb. Yeah, nope, don't agree. A genuinely unique and original story and formatting. I did like the formatting. I did not find the story to be all that unique. I've read other things like this before. Hidden Pictures is true to its name with pictures throughout the book. I found it added a new level of immersion to the story. I do agree with that, so I would recommend not listening, or if you do listen, read along with it if you decide you want to read this book. This was a fun ride. The story had its claws in me, never letting go. He does an incredible job of leaving breadcrumbs and giving you just enough information to think you know where it's going, but you probably don't. That was my biggest problem with it, is I didn't feel like the breadcrumbs, they led from like point A to negative B instead of A to Z. It was very weird. The mystery was riveting. The reveals were well executed and full of surprises to the point where you just had no idea what was going on. Mallory was sympathetic and I loved her commitment to Teddy. The relationship was endearing. I do agree with that. One minor complaint is I wish the really intriguing opening chapters explored more and played a bigger role in the story. I agree with that completely. Okay guys, that I think is all I'm going to do for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was at least a little bit entertaining. I feel slightly bad because I'm being a little harsher than I actually felt about these books for the sake of video comedy, but again, if you enjoyed these books, I'm so glad that you did. I wish that I had. I did not go into these not wanting to love them, so if you did, so glad you enjoyed them. I hope that you enjoyed me roasting a little bit. I thought it was fun. So if you want to connect with me further, my Patreon is linked in Discord, as well as links to find me on Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't like the roasting, just don't thumbs anything. Subscribe if you wanna, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.